You're making grilled cheese tonight. The store with the really, really good cheese closes at 7. If it's 12.1 miles away and work ends at 5:45 but rush hour picks up around 6:15, when's the latest you can leave for cheese? Don't know? Not to worry. Waze knows. Take a look at the traffic forecast and plan your drive ahead of time. Waze. Download and drive today. Your morning commute typically takes 25 minutes. If a 400 cubic foot dairy truck spills 2% milk on the freeway, causing you to take a detour and get stuck at a drawbridge for 20 minutes, how late will you be? Don't know? Well, good news, you don't have to, because Waze knows. With real-time traffic alerts from real Waze users, your ETA is always up to date. Waze. Download and drive today.
Good morning. Thank you for tuning into the Cigars with Mac podcast. I'm your host, Mac, or Big Mac, whichever one you prefer. Today on the podcast, we're going to discuss the cyber sugar daddy. Yeah, you heard it. The cyber sugar daddy, people. I'm 34 years old. My birthday was last week, September the 8th. And I had turned 34. But I'm a part of the generation millennial. I'm a millennial. So I would consider myself a 90s baby. I'm not really an 80s baby. I was born in 1986, September the 8th to be exact. So anyway, I remember growing up and hearing and seeing, older men, OGs with women giving them money for their rent money in exchange for, sexual satisfaction. I'm gonna say that. So there was no cyber footprint back then. Back in those days, a man would meet a woman. The woman would have bills, she had kids, possible baby daddy. He wasn't really providing like he was supposed to. So she had to get a sugar daddy. And that sugar daddy would, in exchange for her body, he would take care of bills or give her a agreed upon amount. This has been going on actually for probably since the beginning of time. But this is nothing new. Woman gives you sex, you give her resources. That's simple. Well, now we have a phenomenon called cyber sugar daddies. This is quite new to me. But I was scrolling on YouTube the other day, and there's a young lady on there. Her name of her page is Codename Chanel. And Miss Codename Chanel is what you would call a finesser, meaning she tries to beat the game. She tries to have such good game and run game on men. That's what finesse means as far as street vernacular. So anyway, I want to play her video for everybody. And I may stop through it a couple times to kind of give my commentary, or I may wait to the end. It just depends on how I'm feeling. But anyway, check her out.
My channel, it's your girl Codename Chanel, and I'm back, but clearly I'm back with a story time. Now this story time is gonna be really informative about what's going on in my life, like kind of currently, and something that I really wasn't gonna talk about, but I'm like, I might as well just make a story time. I tell y'all everything else when I
See, that right there already tells me she full of shit. She don't want to talk about it, but she gonna go ahead and talk about it. Yeah, right. Okay.
But you know, I gotta keep a little bit to myself. If you're new to my channel, welcome. This is the Finesse family, and if you're a returning subscriber, then you know it's all love.
She just said this is the Finesse family, meaning that there is an army of these type of women. This is sad. You know, on the Cigars and Mac podcast, we're gonna talk about it all, people. And you know, hey, it is what it is.
Hair, Sweet Life Virgin hair. It's the Sweet Life Virgin hair. So where do I start with this crazy, bizarre, weird? It's all, why me? You know what I'm saying? I say why me all the time. Like, why me? So everyone knows that I finesse. It's not a secret.
She's willingly admitting that she's a finesser. She's admitting it. It's no secret. Now, I wonder if that would be okay for a man to do that, to say that he finesses women out of their money, you know, out of their resources. I wonder about that.
Or some people do, and some people don't. Sorry for those who don't. Sorry for those who. You guys are kind of gonna see like why I took so long to move and why I wasn't like saying that I moved. Yeah. So anyway.
By the way, she lives in DFW, Dallas Fort Worth, the Metroplex.
Snapchat. He found me through the Add Me app. He was older, like around almost in his 50s. So we would talk like all the time. And he would send me money. So, you know, I considered him like, because he would send me an allowance, so I considered him like a online sugar daddy.
So this man was sending her money with nothing in exchange for the money. That right there is troubling in itself. That's troubling. That's very, there's some deceitfulness going on there. She's not telling everything. She's just telling her side of the story.
I used to use the Add Me app a lot to get followers on Snapchat, and for some reason there was like an older crowd on there. So when they came to my Snapchat, it was a lot of guys like wanting to send me money and gift me and all types of things, asking me if I had a premium Snapchat, asking me if I had on OnlyFans, like things like that. So this was one of the guys in particular that was just like all on my case about that, right? So almost 2 years ago, basically. He would talk to me, he would send me, you know, monthly allowances, he'd ask me for pictures, videos, nothing expensive, he never said anything weird, he never did anything creepy. All of a sudden, like, he just stopped, you know, talking to me or whatever.
What does she consider creepy? You don't consider having an online premium Snapchat creepy? Why are men considered creeps for desiring women? That I don't understand that. I don't get it. I will never get it. We live in a society now where men are suppressed. Excuse me. Well, let me continue.
Like, he didn't even watch my Snapchat or anything. Like, he just But I also have like videos that me and my friends would send to him when we were out so that we could get money for drinks, all types of things. Like this was legitly a trick, legitly a sugar daddy. Like he sent me money whenever.
This woman has no respect for a man. She only sees a man as a ATM. What makes you think it's okay to just ask a man for money to pay for your meal and you're not his wife or girlfriend? That's problematic, ma'am.
Right? So we stopped talking. Like he didn't have a Snapchat or anything, right? Like he must have deleted it because I didn't see him watching my stories, and then I didn't reach out to him because I didn't have a way to reach out to him. I didn't have his number or anything. So around the time again, thank YouTube did it again. It's really YouTube. Oh, you guys, if you hear echo, like I have high ceilings and square feet finish out, and you're just gonna hear echo. But I'll be able to fix the echo soon. Anyway, okay, so back to the story time. So anyway, he basically fell off the face of the earth. I had no way to contact him. Once my YouTube channel started popping off, he came back around and he had a different Snapchat name, so I did not know who he was. And he was kind of offended by the fact that I didn't know who he was. He had a whole different Snapchat name. Okay, let's just say his Snapchat name was Billionaire Bob, and then when he came back, it was like a color, like purple, blue, yellow. You know, it was just, I didn't know who that was, so he sent me a picture, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool, you know, whatever. By that time, like, I had a legit Snapchat trick that was sending me more money, so I didn't really care. And also, I didn't want to I didn't start putting, to me, making money on Snapchat and getting guys to send me gifts on my wish list, my Amazon wish list and stuff like that is passive income to me. Like, I don't really not stress, but I don't really press the issue too much. Like, I just live my life and I get gifts. You know me? So.
Now, y'all know damn well she lying. It's a passive income. See, this pandemic is really bringing out the worst in people. This is sad. I mean, I can't believe that this woman is this young and already this corrupted. But she's not the only one. Yeah, there are men who are corrupt also. I'm not saying that, but this woman, she's an okay looking young lady, you know. I think she kind of inflates herself a little bit too much. But at the end of the day, she's not a bad looking woman. And the sad thing about it is that she'll probably never get married because she's steady, constantly looking for men to take care of her. And as she said, she finesses. Who the fuck would even admit that shit? That's sick. That's problematic to me. I don't know. Again, I come from a different era where, you know, women had sugar daddies, but it was fair exchange. You know, they say fair exchange is no robbery. You know, it was hey, you give me this, I pay your rent. But due to the pandemic, the OnlyFans, the premium Snapchats have gone up. I mean, it's increased because you cannot be around people like that. And I thought men had a little bit more self-respect than that. One of the things I was talking about yesterday on the podcast was never allow yourself to be disrespected. But this is very troublesome to me because she's not the only one that thinks like this. Let us continue.
That was what I was doing. And he was like kind of pressed about the issue, right? Somehow, like, we just start, you know, hitting it off again, started communicating more. And I ended up sending him like a video of me, And it was just a regular video of me. If I can find the video, I will post it. I was in my kitchen and I was like, just saying, hey, how are you doing? You know, just checking up on you. You kind of dropped off the face of the earth, but I'm happy we're cool again. That's basically what the video said. If I can find it, I will attach it. So I didn't, you know, it was a video. It's like a few days went by or whatever, and he ended up texting me. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna be in Dallas. I want to, you know, see you." And I was like, basically, I wrote him. I was like, "I don't feel comfortable with meeting you because when we set up this arrangement or when we were talking, we never said anything about meeting ever. We never said like, oh, I want to meet you, nothing. Like this was one of the cases, the rare cases where it was just like he never really said he wanted to meet me. So I
Now, why in the hell would she take money from a guy that she does not want to meet? See, that right there is a problem already. That's very disrespectful. That's very disrespectful. It's very distasteful. And it shows me, again, this is how she looks at men, as a bank account. Nothing more, nothing less. This is something that I would never agree with. This is equivalent to a man just wanting a woman for pure sex. You see?
told him, I was like, I'm not comfortable with taking this off the line. So that was that. The next day, I started getting like all these things bought off of my Amazon wish list, and so I'm looking at my Amazon wish list, and I'm like, okay, like I'm getting all these things, you know, sent to me or whatever, because like on my Amazon wish list, I have it that if someone buys it, mark it as sold. So I didn't even know that it was him, and then he texted me. He's like, oh, do you like the gifts? And I'm like, oh yeah, like I see what you got from Amazon wish list. That was you. You know, that was you, thank you. And he's like, that was you. How many guys do you have on your Amazon wish list sending you things? And I'm like, I was just being funny, LOL emoji, because that's what I do. LOL emoji. I don't got time to argue with nobody. I don't got time. I'm not a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? I'm not somebody that my job is to argue. I'm not argumentative, actually. So, anyway, argue with yourself, sir. Anyway, so he said, did you?
You know, I don't believe anything that come out this woman's mouth because she's already said she's a finesser. So I gotta wonder, what is she telling the truth on? What is she lying on? Because I just don't take people serious like this. I just don't. Because already you're dealing in deceit. You're dealing in devious behavior, devilish behavior. I mean, just pure skullduggery. And I can't take you serious. As you said, you are a finesser. You're a finesser. You're a gamer. And I don't mean a gamer that plays games. I mean like you're a person that's constantly trying to find ways to get over. You're always trying to outfox the fox. And yeah, you should in so many ways try to outfox the fox. But there has to be a certain amount of respect for people. You don't take money from a man if you're not willing to give anything in exchange for that. That's misleading behavior. And it's disrespectful. And I'm not taking anything away from these men that she says, but my thing is you got to know that these guys want more than just pics and videos. You have to know that. You have to know that. There's no way you can't know that. I think you just refuse to deal with that. That's what it boils down to. You refuse to deal with the issue. You refuse to deal with what is in front of you. Let us continue.
You think about meeting up while we're in Dallas. And I'm like, no. So my friend is actually, one of my best friends is actually going through the same thing where her guy online, her cyber trick is trying to meet up with her. Like, and they established an online relationship. So I reached out to my best friend and I'm just like, bro, like I'm going through the same thing that you're going through. Like him trying to meet up or whatever the case is. And so I sent her his Snapchat name because it was a different Snapchat name. And my friend already knew about him because we sent him videos on my Snapchat. So she knew about him. She just didn't know the new Snapchat name. So she screenshots her Snapchat. She's like, this guy literally, whoever this is, watches my stories all the time. So I decided to reach out to my sisters and like my other friends, my close friends. And I'm like, does he watch your story? And they're like, yeah, that person does watch my story. That's weird. So I'm like, what the heck? So I
Okay, how is this guy watching your story weird? You are posting pictures of yourself, of your fat ass, of your little waist, of your big titties because you want men to look at it. Duh. How does that make a man a creep because he looks at a fat ass, a beautiful woman? That's not creepy. See, this is what I'm talking about in today's society. We live in a world now, especially in America, that a man's sexual behavior has to be suppressed. I don't agree with that. I'm a married man, and hell, if I see a beautiful woman, I'm gonna look. I mean, that's just what it is. I'm a man. That's my normal, natural behavior. That's what I should be doing. There's nothing wrong with that.
brought it up to him. I'm like, why are you following all my friends and family? That's so weird. And he's like, I'm not following any of them. I don't know what you're talking about. So I sent him screenshots. I'm like, yes, you are following them, you weirdo. And he's like, oh.
My question to Codename Chanel is, was he a weirdo when he was giving you his money? Was he a weirdo then? Was he a weirdo when his income was your, as you say, supplemental income? See, this is why women are losing, especially black women. My black women, y'all, you cannot have this fucked up ass behavior and think you're gonna get a man. I'm sorry, it don't work like that.
I didn't know those were your family and friends. Keep in mind, y'all, the only way that he'd be able to follow them is because I tagged them on Snapchat. You guys have Snapchat, right? So y'all know that when you tag somebody on Snapchat, you follow that person, and it's like, why are you making this up? Why are you lying, saying that that's not the case? You know? So it was really upsetting me and my homegirls, literally, physically, like literally upsetting us. And so it gets weirder, you guys, right? So he starts hounding me. Did you get the stuff that I sent you? Did you get the stuff that I sent you? Did it arrive in Irving?
How is a man hounding you by buying you stuff to make sure that you receive the gift that he got you? How is that hounding? This is backwards to me, man. This is, I am so glad that I'm married. I could not be dating today. I couldn't, because if this is what you have available, man, we are fucked. This is crazy, man. This is some backwards ass shit. And if this is what's out here in the dating market, God help us.
So at the time, because I no longer live in that area, I lived in Irving. And I never told him I lived in Irving. I told him I lived in Dallas. So how did you even know that I lived in Irving? So then he's like, so I asked him, he's like, how do you even know I live in Irving? And, that's so annoying, right? So he's like, oh, well, it says it, like, because on Amazon, on your wish list, it covers your address, but it doesn't cover your city, I'm assuming. So that's why he said that. Keep that in mind. So he's like, that's why he's like, I've been knew that. Like, it says it on your Amazon wish list or whatever. So, I started sending it to my family and friends, like, can you see my city? Can you see my state? Like, what can you see? Because I never had this issue. I never felt like somebody was being super weird, like he was.
Again, I caught in another lie. You know damn well if you have a wish list, they have to have your address. I mean, it's common sense. It's on there. Why is this lady playing games? This is childish. This is childish behavior. And this woman is, I want to say, is probably almost 30 years old.
Like it was so super weird. So anyway, we he just started getting on my freaking nerves. Like everything, like it's like, why are you being like this? Why are you being so extra? Why are you being so weird? Like you literally, I'm not giving you any reason to be a weirdo, and here you are. Here you are. So the final straw was him being like, oh, I'm also looking into Cortland properties, because the properties that my apartments are owned by was Cortland, the apartment that I just moved from. So keep in mind, you guys, I did not share this with you guys, but I did an apartment hunting video, and when I was doing the apartment hunting video, I was really skeptical about putting anything on where I was really going to move to, because I didn't want him to know, or just like really anybody, because people get really weird. But he was one of the reasons why. Also, you guys, I was planning on, surprise, surprise, staying in the apartments that I lived in, but just upgrading to a 2-bedroom. So after he had said the Cortland thing, I was like, no, I'm not staying here. Like, I have to move. So I sent it to my sisters, and my sisters are super protective of me, and they were like, yeah, like, girl, all that.
Your sisters are protective of you, but who's protective of this young man giving you money? You see, this is disrespectful behavior. I know I keep repeating myself, but wow. I'm going to go in afterward. This is crazy.
That cyber stuff you be doing, like, you got to be really careful or whatever, because how does he even know that? So I didn't even ask him how he knew that. I went back to the video that I sent him, and it was a video I was recording by the refrigerator. And I have a magnet that when I moved into the complex, they gave me for like, you know, if you need to call maintenance, emergency maintenance, and it's a magnet you put on your refrigerator. On that magnet had Cortland Properties, and it had the number. Like, it was so clear because the video was so close, and my refrigerator was right behind me, so I got caught slipping. So that's exactly how he knew where I lived at. Again, that's why I'm so happy that I don't use my real name, because yeah, some people can get really weird and really creepy. I just ended up blocking him off of my Snapchat, and I mean, he probably still watches my Snapchat, but now I'm like super careful about posting where I'm at, like, or posting. Honestly, if I go to a restaurant, I'm always gonna post after, but sometimes I slip up. But it's just like, you're weird, bro. Like, and for you didn't even send me that much money for you to become a stalker out of nowhere. But I think that.
So not only are you a quote unquote finesser, you're an ungrateful ass finesser. So he didn't even send you that much money. How much money should he send you for a product he's never even touched? Please make that make sense to me. Because right now it's not making any sense to me that this guy is just randomly giving you money and he's not expecting anything in return. I don't believe that. I think you're lying to me. Again, you are a finesser.
I think that once a guy like sees my YouTube or something like that, then it's two reactions I get. Either I get like super like obsessive, like kind of fan behavior, or I get like the guy just falls back. You know what I'm saying? And his became super fan behavior. So you ladies, be careful, especially with these cyber guys, because you know it's only so much. We're honest finessers. It's only so much we can finesse without it getting.
How are you an honest finesser? That's like saying you are a honorable murderer. There's no honor in murdering people. That's stupid. But this is her logic, and she truly believes this. She truly embodies this. What if she took the time to embody positive, successful habits?
Like really intense, and I'm gonna tell you, 9 times out of 10 they do want to meet up, and it's not that I didn't feel comfortable taking the cyber finesse to the real finesse. It was just like weird. Like,
no, you had no intentions of ever meeting this guy. You wanted his money, And that was that. You want his money and for him to be okay with talking to you virtually. No, that's stupid.
The comment below, I hope y'all know what I'm talking about. It was just weird. Anyway, if you need more game, go to my Patreon. That is where I give out my exclusive game, super exclusive tea. So if you need some more game, definitely go to my Patreon. And if you want to follow me on social media, codename Chanel, but do not become a stalker. Okay, I don't like stalkers.
I'm confused. You're giving out your information, but you don't want stalkers. See, people have that word stalking, and they use it out of context. I remember there was a lady in a dog training club I used to go to out here in Dallas, and she had some nice dogs, nice like her photos. Well, a couple of guys I knew went out to the club one day. I told them to check them out, and so this chick says that, one of the guys brought up my name, and she's like, yeah, I know him. He stalks my Facebook. And I'm thinking, stalk? They told me what she said, and so I didn't know her information, but a friend of hers that was also a friend of mine, I called him up and basically told him, hey, man, tell that stupid ass bitch to watch her damn words because she's a white female. I'm a black man. Black men have been hung because of the words of white females lying. I'm like, you have dog photos on Facebook. What the fuck is wrong with me liking them? We're friends. We're connected. We have some sort of commonality because I see you out at the dog training club when I used to go out there. So me liking a photo is stalking now? That was the most stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. You see, we live in a world today, man, where people are very self-absorbed. Like this chick here. She's talking about her sugar daddy, cyber sugar daddy stalking her. Sweetheart, let me go ahead and inform you, you're not that important.
Like, I've had several stalkers in my life. This is honestly, if you want to follow me on Snapchat and don't be a weirdo, it's Chanel Kid Herb. Now, I'm pretty much done. I think that I'm out. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Comment below your thoughts. Comment below if you ever had like some weird stalker vibes, especially with these sugar daddies. Because y'all, we gotta be careful. We want to get the bag, but we want to get the bag safe and sound, okay?
So y'all want to get the money safe and sound through dishonest ways, right?
Anyway, I'm pretty much out. It's a Sweet Life Virgin here for me. And I'm out.
Well, there you have it, folks. The Cyber Sugar Daddy by our good friend on YouTube, codename Chanel. This is the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life. This is like a Twilight Zone. But if you don't know what a sugar daddy is, people, basically, again, some of you men may be a sugar daddy and don't even know it. You're basically doing a fair exchange program. And usually the sugar daddy is older than the woman. And so basically you're probably paying her bills. You are supplementing her income. And in return, you get her access to her body. That's what it boils down to. Like I said, I come from a generation where this was normalized. This is nothing abnormal. This is not abnormal by the least. But what is abnormal is the fact that this woman is playing with fire. See, when you do things like that, ladies, you got to understand that you're playing with fire. The best thing you can do as a woman is to establish yourself. Have your own money. Have your own job or business or career. Now, when a man comes along and he has a job or business or career, that's just additional. But when I hear this kind of talk of a cyber sugar daddy, man, that troubles me. Who wants access to a woman that they can't see, touch, and feel? That's problematic to me. And it scares me because, according to her own words, this man damn near knew where she lived. I don't think she has children. But imagine if she had children and this man showed up at her house unannounced and he's angry and he's furious because he's giving you this money and you don't want to meet him, and no, man, that's not cool. But when a man speaks out about this, we're not supposed to talk about this. We're supposed to be quiet about it. We're supposed to just let shit happen. As a man in America, we have to take a lot of losses a lot of times. We have to take a lot of L's. And we got to keep on driving. We got to keep trucking like nothing happened. And that's not cool, man. Like I said, this OnlyFans phenomena, this Snapchat premium, it has increased. There are women who are damn near millionaires off of OnlyFans. And you can't stop a man's nature. Men want to see women. They want to see asses. They want to see titties. They want to see a fat ass pussy. That's just what it is. You're a man. That's not abnormal. That's normal. That's not abnormal. If a man's giving you money, he's gonna want sex in return. That's not abnormal. But what is abnormal is this woman's behavior. She's labeled this man as a cyber sugar daddy. No, he's not. He's not a cyber sugar daddy. He's a cyber fool. And you don't see anything wrong with this. You don't see that what you're doing is hurting people. But the moment a man expresses their distaste for this, we're labeled as woman haters. No, I'm stating the obvious. This is not normal. Ladies, you should not accept money from a man without expecting something in return, especially on this level. Man, it's one thing if your family, your friends. That's I don't think I should have to even say that. I'm dealing with grown-ups. But when you are a quote-unquote sex worker, because that's what she is, she's not going to come out and admit that. She's a sex worker. Anyone that is a prostitute, stripper, IG sex worker, OnlyFans, video maker of pornography, you're a sex worker. You don't have to have physical sex to be a sex worker. What they're doing is prostitution. What she's doing is a form of prostitution. And this is troublesome because in that world, if a man pays you, you give him your body in return. I'm not against prostitution by any means. I'm not against it. I think it really should be legalized, to be honest with you. What I am against is trafficking, human trafficking in minors. I don't agree with that. But I think women should be able to do that. And men, if they want it. I don't give a shit what people do. I really don't. I don't give a shit what people do. Just don't harm others. That's all I care about. And what she's doing is harming others. This can't be the first guy that she's doing this to. But the sad thing is that she's not the only one doing it. She's just the only one that I ran across. Because this is a whole community of women on YouTube who do this bullshit. This is kind of like what Cardi B said years ago in a video, that she robbed people, drugged men to get to. She literally acted as if that was the only thing she could do to make it, was to deceive men, drug men, promise them sex but never give it to them. One thing I learned is every dog has its day. Never forget that. And as I said earlier, she's not the only one. She's not. She's just the only one dumb enough to admit it. And she's okay with it. This is equivalent to me going to Papa Do's, ordering all this seafood and never getting the seafood in my hand, never being able to eat it. Guys, that's not cool. And this type of behavior has to be addressed. I would have rather for her not to even put this out publicly, but because she's put it out publicly, I have to discuss it. You're giving me a great topic to talk about. And the sad thing is that she sees nothing wrong with it. She has no sympathy, no empathy, she's just like, fuck it. She sees no problem with it, man. I find this to be problematic. I'm not gonna lie to you. And it's just, oh man, I'm just so glad I'm married, man. I'm glad I'm not in this dating world, man. I didn't even meet my wife offline. I met my wife at a church. I mean, this shit nowadays is so fucking scary, man. You don't know who the fuck you running across. You don't know who the hell you meeting, man. You just know you see a fat ass on the camera on those pictures on those dating apps. Like I said, I would be too afraid nowadays because there's so much crazy shit out here. But I tell you one thing, if she ever loses what she has, that's gonna humble her. Oh yeah, that's gonna humble her ass. I made a post the other day on my personal Facebook page, and I'm gonna read it to you. The post read, I'm looking for it right now, people. Sorry. Where's that post at? The post said, ladies, you better maximize every opportunity in your youth because one day you will get old and life will pass you by. Let me read that one more time. Ladies, you better maximize every opportunity in your youth because one day you will get old and life will pass you by. Am I saying women have a shelf life? Yes, you do have a shelf life. And she's playing dangerous games right now at a young age. She shouldn't be playing these games. But I wonder, who did she learn this from? Because she didn't come out the womb doing this. Somebody had to have taught her this. I mean, it's so bad that she has a thing called the finesse gang. Y'all, this is a sad day. This is sad. Well, anyway, guys, that's all I gotta say about this one, man. This is really doing something to me on the inside. I feel bad for men like this that are being deceived. Anyway, y'all, enjoy your day. Like, follow, and share these podcasts. Enjoy them. Talk about them. And if you have any topic ideas you'd like for me to talk about, email me at info@cigarswithmacpod.com. It's info@cigarswithmacpod.com. Thank you, and have a great rest of your day.
Last-minute gifts are on sale at Gap Factory and GapFactory.com. Get 60% off almost everything. Shop new doorbusters, including gifts from $7, socks from $2, tees from $8, and more. Find it all at Gap Factory or GapFactory.com through December 24th. Cozy up for the holidays with 60% off everything at Banana Republic Factory, including soft sweaters, comfy pajamas, must-have gifts, and more from $9.99. Find your nearest store now, only at Banana Republic Factory.
Recruiters, reduce your cost per candidate by about 50% with CareerBuilder. We connect you to qualified, diverse candidates at every stage of the hiring funnel. CareerBuilder Talent Acquisition Suite. Software packed with talent. Visit hiring.careerbuilder.com/recruit.